Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I was just standing here making some journaling cards using scraps. See, I have this stack of stuff that I just pulled out. Some of it was on my desk, but some of it I pulled out too. And then I was like, well, I might as well turn on the camera. So I know that this is something that everybody's probably done, but if you're new, you might, like seeing this. I just use all kinds of this little, what's the best is when you have this little garbage sitting on your desk, for lack of a better term. But it's really fun to just put on book page. This is just the glue book pages that I use, and then I fold in half. And then you get a nice card. And so this one was plain on the back, so I don't even have to back that one. That one I'll need to back, but no big deal. This is one that I decorated. I did some stenciling and some little fine line pen and Tim Holtz pieces. Yeah, so that one's all done, and this one's all done. I'm going to stitch around these, but there's mushrooms. So they're just really fun to do, and you can use them, like if you just make up a bunch like this with the plain pieces, then later you can add bits, like that, if you know what type of journal you're doing. So anyhow, I just thought I would go ahead and make a couple of these because I need a couple to go in this piece of ephemera that we made. That was it was envelopes, right? Yeah. Like, what did I do? So it's a piece of cardstock and then 2 envelopes that have been cut and, added onto here so that they make like a little flippy doo-wah. And so it needs some journaling cards to go in these pockets. So that is what we're going to work on. And I have to remember to orient them this way. I tend to always want to do that. And sometimes you need them going this way, right? Most of the time, actually. So how you all doing? I hope you're having a fabulous day. I don't put a lot of thought into this. This is like I grab scraps, whatever, and I put them down. It's not, and that's kind of a really good way to practice collage anyway, is to just do it. And it's really good to do it this way, especially with kind of neutrally papers that they're gonna go together. It's not gonna be a problem. So, and you just keep slapping them down, and I think it works great. Of course, everybody has a different style and a different way of doing it, but that's just how I do it. I have discovered, though, the less you sit and contemplate every piece that goes down, the better it turns out, because you're just like, it's just more, I don't know what the word would be, but it just turns out better. So yeah, I hope you're all doing good. I'm doing good. I got my son coming at the end of the week, so I am totally jazzed. I am so excited to see him. It will be awesome. And this is just a book page. I think this is out of, I can't remember what that book was called. I got it at the dollar store, but it had just all kinds of old type. Twin Peaks, I think. It was a TV show. All that. But anyway. It just has typewritten text and stuff like that, which I like. So that is that. So yeah, this is how I do it. Some are, going the right direction. Some will be like this one sideways. That's all fine. Doesn't matter. Because you're probably going to put a focal point on it. Unless you want to use them just as collage pieces, and that's fine too. Because sometimes they turn out really cool and you don't want to cover them up. So it just all depends on what your plan is with them. I don't have a whole lot going on. My husband and I just kind of hung out here all weekend. It was actually really nice. We watched football and I worked on a digi and, stuff like that. Nothing real taxing. We didn't go to the game. It was homecoming and we couldn't get tickets. We're horrible because we don't do season tickets because, we can't afford it for one thing. So we kind of just pick them up as we find them. If they're a decent price, well, this weekend, because it was homecoming, there were no decent prices, I'll just say. And my daughter said it was nuts down there anyway. It probably would have done me in. So she's like, you're probably better off that you didn't come. But I mean, I miss seeing her do her thing, but she did an Instagram takeover. I don't know. I didn't know anything about these things, but anyhow, for her work, it was for her job, but she was doing kind of like a day in the life of a band student. So that was awesome because we got to kind of follow along with her on that day. So even though we didn't get to go to the game, it was a lot of fun because we still got to see the kids all being crazy and just having a good time, and I love that. It makes me so happy. So I was very excited to see that. And she did a great job. She always says, you know, I don't like public speaking or, you know, like talking to the camera or whatever. But, I mean, she's really good at it. And I get not loving it because, you know, I get nerve-wracked. Even still, every once in a while with this, I'll be all wound up about making a video. Even though I've been doing it for 5 years. But, yeah, I mean, it definitely can be nerve-wracking. She did great. This is out of an old book. It looks to be like German, I think, but it's got some spatters of paint on it, and it just looks really kind of cool. Oh, don't rip. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Nothing real exciting. I need to lose my jacket though because I'm roasting. I don't know what is going on outside. It sounds like this big announcing something. I don't know. I can't even imagine what would be an announcer would be doing. This fit on there? Oh, it would. That might be kind of cool. So we'll kind of leave that one as done, quote unquote. But see, just like that, boom, you get a nice piece to add something to. You're just doing a background. And really, a lot of times with journaling or collaging or whatever, you are just making a background because there usually are like focal pieces that you're going to want to add to stuff. This is out of one of those long, tall ledger books. I love stuff like this. That's like one of my favorite things. I just love all those numbers like that. Yeah, I think it was the one that I did for my niece that I turned into like a guest book for her wedding. There's a video I did a flip through of that. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I took this page out because I added other stuff in. So I might do that there, but let's put something maybe here. Letters. Letters and numbers. I have Tim Holtz too. I got paint on it. Real surprising, right? Kind of just like this part. Without the big moth. I think that's a moth. So yeah, watched a lot of football, watched a lot of paranormal stuff. I don't know, I'm hooked on that ever since we got back from Alaska and had that, went into that place. I don't know, it's just kind of cool. I just had that weirdest sensation, like my thumbs went numb and all that. I don't know, and I'm not like saying I know anything about paranormal anything, but it was just a weird feeling that I've never had before, so it was just a very crazy place. So anyhow, just got kind of interested in that. Not saying I necessarily believe it wholeheartedly, but it's just very fascinating in my opinion. I'm going to use some of this drop It's just deli paper that I used as to wipe off a card or something. It looks like, I think something like that, when I was doing who knows what. It was in with my scraps. It just can add kind of some color here, I think. So let me get that one glued on. Yeah, and I even grew up in a town that was supposedly haunted. Like, a lot of the places were haunted. And I did have a few kind of odd things happen there, but nothing very crazy. Not that this was very crazy either. It was just strange. It's probably a Halloween-y thing too. I kind of do that around Halloween. I like to watch, not horror, because I don't like that, but just maybe something a little spooky or something. It's kind of fun. That will work there, and that will work there. Yay! Actually did it so that it will work. See, just that little bit of color just kind of adds something, and that's nothing but paint paint mess, basically. But it will be interesting back behind whatever we put on here. So just like that, I got a couple of journaling cards to add something fun to. And that's why I love doing these, because it uses up some of this little bitty junk that floats around. And it also makes interesting backgrounds, which we love. Okay, so what could we put on these? Decorate them up a little bit. Oh, one thing I was thinking that might be kind of fun is to do one of the ones that has the pocket on the front and the back. We'll have to cover the back if we're going to do that. So this is just packing paper that's got polka dots on it, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. Anyway, you can glue the top, glue the bottom, top, bottom, and then you can have a tuck on both sides of your journaling card, but I don't think I want to cover those like that, so not going to do that. But there's an idea if you are looking for an idea. I'm going to be using some of my kooky little mushrooms. I should probably use that big one because I've been struggling to find a spot for it because it's so big. Yeah, it looks good over on that one. Kind of like the blue with that green. Oh, this orange might be kind of cool too. These are just different batches of these funny little mushrooms I make. No, I don't like that. I think I like that one. I think we'll go with those. This one says harvest. I don't know if I want that though. Let's see what else we got. I made this one on a altered playing card. So those are fun to make. I've still got a piece of that. That's from that stencil. The stencil that's in my Etsy shop. this mushroom. I don't know if it goes, the color. Yeah, I don't like that green, bluey green color. Some leaves. Not July. I have a July thing. I think I'm going to use that. Just because I got it and I like it. I do like that one up there. That's from my Bingo Bits digital. Let's see. Oh, and somebody was asking how I did this. I don't have a video for that because I didn't video it. I just was playing around, really. So I took the stencil that I have of the mushrooms. Where is my stencil? Hold on. Okay, so this is the stencil. I collaged all kinds of papers on a large sheet of paper. Just same idea as this, but it was a large sheet of paper. Then I flipped it over, put my stencil on it, traced it with a pencil, and then I used small scissors like these and a craft knife like this to cut in, you know, a lot of those spots are kind of hard to get to with scissors, so I used my craft knife. So that's all I did to get these little mushrooms like this. You can see it's just collaged paper on there. Okay, and those are my shop. Oh, and I do have a new stencil in my shop. It's called This and That stencil, and it's just, you know, all kinds of random things. But you guys, a lot of you mentioned you liked this grid pattern, so I did that. I have these funny little circles, and then there's some coffee spatter sort of images there. Hopefully you can see them, but so that's in the shop as well. So let's continue on with this. I did trim these so they'll fit, and it's this one. And I inked my leaves here just so that that was done. I forgot to ink that, and I forgot to ink that, but that's okay because we can do that real quick. So yeah, that's what the deal is with these little mushrooms. They are fun to play with for sure. That one's empty. I need this one. I need to rough these up a little bit more. Oops. And this is my Bingo Bits digital download. I think I said that, but just in case. I just like to tell people, I'm not trying to drive you guys crazy with stuff I'm selling. A lot of people want to know, you know, where I get stuff or whatever. So I hope I'm not bugging you guys. I mean, obviously it's how I make a living, so it is important to me, but I understand if you don't want to listen to it all the time. Alright, so I am going to put these on here. Believe me, I would love to just be able to, you know, do it all for fun and not worry about trying to make money. But life is, right? I see cat hair. Shocker. It's either my hair or cat hair, I swear. The two of us. Drives my husband crazy. He's like, I don't know who's worse, you or the cat. Like, I can't help it. Don't we lose like 80 hairs or something like that a day? It's crazy. Crazy. I think the cat loses a lot more than that, but he has a lot. A lot. If you guys don't know, if you're new to my channel, and if you are, welcome. I have a Persian cat who's kind of like my mascot for my shop and my YouTube page and all that. So that's how I ended up with the Crafty Cat name and the little logo of the funny little white cat. That's my cat. He's my perpetual toddler. He's 11 years old, but he seriously is like having a toddler around the house all the time. He has, I don't know if I told you guys this, but he has started getting on the kitchen counter, which is a no-no in our house. I don't allow cats on the counter. This is a Stabilo All pencil. It's a water-soluble pencil that I'm going to use to go around this to make it stand out a little bit more. And then I'm going to use a water pen, just plain water. Ooh, there's almost no water in there. This one has some. To go around it, and it'll just give it a little oomph. But anyway, he gets on the counter in the kitchen, which is a no-no, so that I'll get up, like it's usually in the evening for watching TV, and I'm sitting on the couch. So I'll get up and let him outside. So now I don't let him outside when he does that. Because I'm like, nope, you're not going to get rewarded for your poor behavior. But he is a stinkweed. I mean, all he'd have to do at the back door is meow, and I'd get up and let him out. You know, I can't see him from the couch when he's at the kitchen door. Otherwise, you know, I would just let him out. I mean, I'm not opposed to getting up and letting him out. I just am not going to have him getting on the counter to get what he wants. Because that reinforces that bad behavior, right? He is something, that cat. It's always something. Always. Okay, and like I said, this is just water. Gotta get a little more. That's one of those, it's an Arteza water brush. So you can use it for watercoloring or this kind of thing. Whatever you like. But see, it just sort of makes that color spread out a little bit and gives it a little bit of shadow and interest around those mushrooms. So yep, that's my little furry baby. Where he's at right now, he's probably sleeping under my son's bed. That's what he likes. Nobody can get him under there. There's drawers that go under it, and he opens them and goes under there. That's where he sleeps during the day because he knows nobody can bug him. Alright, so there's that, just to give it a little something else. And I was thinking of something else on here. Don't know what, so. Oh, I know what it was. It was this, right? Yeah, let's put that on there. And this is the Fall Mushrooms Digital. Kind of squish it a little. I just like to give it a little interest. Could even go around it a little bit. Can't ever get the lid off of these. It is seriously on there, which is good because you don't have to worry about losing the lid and it dripping or something, but man, going a little over just to. Alright, there's that one, and I'll put some fabric up here and stitch around it so when it's in the pocket it's easier to pull out. And we'll do this one. And I tore around this piece of Bingo Bits, so just gonna glue that down. Where did I had it this way, huh? Put it right here. You won't be able to see all of it, but no, I don't want to do that either. because I've got the torn edge, so I don't want to fold it over. Scooch it up just a bit because I'm going to put this leaf down here, and I don't want the leaf to cover a whole bunch of the bottom part of the mushroom. Oopsie. Right over the edge there. It's okay. Turn it just a little bit. So it's straight at the bottom, right? This one stands out pretty good because I already went around the edges of this one with the Stabilo all around the mushroom itself instead of the background. So just a little different way of doing it. I'm going to go ahead and use the liquid because I want to wrinkle this just a little bit around that base of that mushroom. Just give them a little bit of a wrinkle, not a lot. Okay, I like that. All right, so I think that one's good. Doesn't need anything else. So that will also get stitched around. But let's see if we can find a spot in our book for this. What did I do with it? Oh my goodness. I set it out of the way, but where? Well, we might not be doing that right now since I can't seem to find anything. But yeah, I could just stand here and make these collage bits all day. They're just very fun to do. So I hope you guys enjoy them. There it is. I put it over with the cards I finished. Eesh, I can't remember anything. This I thought I might put here. I'm probably going to have to put my background on, but this would be a good spot. I'm thinking though I need more stuff near the end because it's so thick up here at the it's getting so fat that I think maybe back here would be a better spot to put it. Let's see. Like some numbers. No, I don't like that. This one might be good because it's just sort of a brown. The little bit of blue, brown picks up this. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So, I can't ever remember the size of the pages here. You'd think by the time you measure a page enough times you might actually remember it, but apparently not. I'm going to stick these in here for now until I get a chance to stitch some fabric around them. Okay. So we're looking at 8 1/4 by almost 5 1/2. Okay. Oh, come on. And you can also leave these pages at the back of your book just with like writing paper on them, so you have more writing space. But I want to put some decorations back here too, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go a little less than 5.5 because we don't. It's not going to go like all the way into the crease and all that. Just take a little off the top and bottom because 1/4. 8 1/4 is almost the page already, right? 8.5. Yeah, see, we're already at like almost there, so I'm just going to take a tiny bit off the top here, just so the edge is torn. Yeah, that's still going to be too wide. This edge looks very crooked. How did I do that? I thought I had it pretty good. Apparently not, because it's real crooked. A little bit more off the... I always think I have it, and I don't. So that's basically all I do to cover any of the pages in the altered book, is just tear, you know, digitals, or you can use any of your dyed papers or old papers, old book page, whatever you want to use to cover them. And just tear them to size like you would any other sort of project where you need a piece of some type. Like pockets and everything, I do it the same way. Sometimes I just collage on them. You can just use scrapbook paper if you don't have a way to print digitals. I would just use probably a thinner scrapbook paper. You know, that's more the weight of like copy paper, because if you use, obviously, like some of the cardstocks, you're just going to get real thick real fast. And yeah, like I mentioned before, but if you're just watching these for the first time, you need something like this or a bone folder or something to help you get those pages all smoothed out. They just turn out better. I mean, obviously you can use your hands, but it just turns out real nice if you do that way. And then this will go on here. We could leave this as a tuck too. Maybe a side tuck would be good. So let's just put glue. You could just tuck a little, I'd probably tuck something thinner into this, like a tag or from the kit. Something like that, just because it's already pretty thick with the other pieces. Oh, I did that backwards. Lordy. You guys are probably yelling at me and I didn't hear you because I was too busy jabbering. See how I am? Total mess all the time. Every day, every day. Never gets better. It just gets worse. Telling you. Trying to kind of get it as straight as I can. I'm really using a lot of glue now that I barely put any water in there. It's just like, wowzers. I keep shaking it too because I'm worried it's going to end up separating or something. I don't know if it would, but... Okay, so now I have a little tuck here. I might take one of these just to show here. I think that that's going to be too big, so I'll have to make something a little bit smaller, or use one of the tags from the kit, which I might end up doing. I mean, I suppose I could cut a bit off of that. Kind of looks cool with the beetle partially there. And then that flips open. You got your two pockets and a writing space and a writing space. So yeah, anyhow, that's what I was making today. So I will see you guys again tomorrow. Love you guys. Talk later. Bye.